Okay.
Welcome to our second Quiddcast. I have Spyder with me. It's just going to be the two of us for tonight. Hopefully, we can cover a bit, possibly cover another Trek Grail since it is Trek Week. We should start seeing probably people start joining soon.
Where do we see people joining? Where does
that will show up? There's a little in the middle of the screen. There should be an icon that has an eyeball, and it will have a count.
Where's the icon? Okay.
So Spyder's new to this. So we kind of wing this.
I told you it's my first ever joined.
A person has joined. Dark. See, people will show up. Just give it time.
You're in the icon.
This is like the AMA after hours. This is 100% AMA after hours. We would have. I don't even know why people would stay. We'd have like 20 or 30 people that would just talk. Nobody else could talk. It's just, and I don't even know what we're talking. We had we would go off on tangents.
Absolutely nothing. We were just talking about what we were talking about. Oh God, I can't believe if I'm live on some YouTube thing now. I feel so strange.
Have you ever done any of the actual the ones with Zane, or have you ever done any of the Quidd ones, or no?
Sorry, had to mute myself while choked to death on my own drink. No, I haven't done any with them.
JRG is not feeling that good today, so he had to sit this one out. But hey, I think we have somebody better. I mean, essentially, this is Quiddcast was originally, just to kind of give history. Quiddcast has been an idea that Spyder and I have had for quite some time, and it was after we noticed people actually like to listen to us talk after the AMAs. We should do something about that and actually broadcast it if people actually like to listen, because I don't know why.
I still don't know why. I don't understand it.
We're not that interesting.
Well, I mean, you talk a lot. I just kind of sit here and don't say a whole lot, so I don't know why anybody would hear me talk.
I don't know when to shut up. That's typically my issue, is I really just don't know when to stop talking.
I used to be more like that, but I think I've talked to my meetings and stuff. I'm just always talking, and I'm just like, I don't know.
You know who gets talking is when Sam, if you've ever been on a call with Sam, when she starts talking, if you get her going, she won't shut up either. So it's fine. That's normal. It's a normal thing. That means you like each other. You know, when you can have a conversation about nothing and it just keeps going, that means you're good friends, right?
That's true.
Hopefully that's what that means.
It's like Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's a show about nothing.
Exactly. Like Seinfeld. Great show. I like that show.
So when we getting Seinfeld on Quidd? Is that a hint?
What would be cool?
Don't take anything we say as being serious. Singing, I don't know about that. I mean,
I won't sing. Although I do, if you're on the phone with me long enough, after so long, actually start randomly singing songs. Just Tim knows this because I'll break into some song. I don't know why. I do it. I'm weird. It's not always the best rendition of the song, though.
The Spyder rendition.
It's like if you say something and it makes you a song, then you end up singing the next couple to the song just randomly. I do that. Supernatural would be. I wanted Supernatural here for years and years.
I'm actually surprised we didn't get it, though. I'll be honest with you, because whenever we had it, everything was under Cryptozoic. Cryptozoic had a Supernatural license because they pushed cards out. So I was they could actually potentially had hope for it at one point, and then all the Cryptozoic stuff kind of away.
That would have been nice. I really wanted Supernatural.
It would have made sense. I mean, there's a lot more that we could have done with Cryptozoic.
push for it, but I just turned on.
Well, it is
Stream on my phone for fun.
It is Trek Week. I do want to if we can help Laptop Hound out. One person. He has 999 subscribers. He needs one more. He's been waiting for it to hit 1,000, and he hasn't yet. So, if one person can maybe go subscribe. Hey, look, I'm not subscribed under Quiddcast. That should hopefully do it. Yeah, I was like, I'm not subscribed. That makes sense. I subscribed to my personal. Let's refresh.
I was going to say, I think I'm already. So.
There it is. He'll be out. I feel kind of dumb that I didn't check to make sure we were following him with Quiddcast. So he's happy that he now has 1,000 subscribers on his channel. He did a stream earlier today that I was sitting in on. I don't know if you've ever talked to him, Spyder, but that dude has an NPR voice. You could sit there because he used to be a teacher, so he has an NPR voice where you just sit there and be like, this guy's interesting. I don't know what he's talking about. This is nice. Like, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I've listened to some of his videos before, and he sounds like a teacher for sure.
Yeah, he said
I told you. I was like, he sounds like a person. Remember?
He was he was saying today in his stream he was a teacher for like 30 years. Oh, you see, now we're gonna give him more than 1,000. But yeah, he was saying he was a teacher he's a social studies teacher, if I remember correctly. So yeah,
that's cool.
I'm happy he's at 1,000. Yeah.
I failed all my social studies classes, and so go me.
He really likes the gallery sets. Hint, hint. We should try to bring some gallery back. Hint, hint. Yeah. Hey, 1,000.
I agree.
1,000. You're at 1,000. So I mean, he's in the stream. So you're at 1,000. That's my fault for not following you from Quiddcast.
That's pretty cool. Hit 1,000. Congratulations.
If we could bring back some gallery, I mean, he is a Napoleon. Maybe some Napoleon sets. Help the guy out a little bit. Can you make that happen, Spyder?
I can suggest
you some public domain stuff.
I don't know what I can do 100%, but I can try. I can just throw it out there. It'd have to be another season because we closed gallery and channel, so it would have to be gallery season 2, or do we have 1 or 2 seasons? I don't remember, but I think it'd be gallery season 2, which it could be.
Can they do it how they're doing it now? Because I've noticed they've kind of veered away a little bit from seasons, as I've seen the identity
Satoshieverse,
because
Satoshieverse went back. The new set went under the old channel or the original channel. Satoshieverse. We did that with. I'm kind of always pushing for big fan of seasons. I'm kind of like not really into them at all. I'd rather it be under the where it lives, but you know how that goes.
I mean, that's that's one of the things that I know that Michael said in the beginning when we started seasons is it was testing out to see if it works, if it makes sense with what we're doing. And it may have worked at some points, but then when you have Valiant season 1, 2, 3, it gets difficult. I like how it looks like we might be moving in the direction to kind of veer away. Maybe the first, I guess you could say, the terminology that I guess is popular, the first appearance on Quidd. Maybe that's like where they do the bigger orb with the lower card count award. Like Identity had that 5cc, and I was glad to see all the checklists. I had personally begged Spyder, please don't do another low CC award. I don't want to spend another $500 chasing. So I noticed all these are like 20. All of them are 20 card count awards, I believe. So yeah,
I think so. I'm trying to get them to stay off of the really low count. But we can't go too high because right now it's there's a certain amount of people that buy and go for those awards, so we don't want to be too high. So it's kind of a like balancing act between too low and too high, if that makes sense.
see, this is why I like when people are in here, because I always forget to say stuff like that. Like, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already subscribed. It helps with the algorithms to kind of help push Quiddcast closer to
I
the
don't
top.
think say that. I hear people say that all the time in videos. I feel so weird. Hit like, subscribe.
Just wait, because if Kid Cutter joins in, I mean, the chat might get a little after darkish, if you know what I mean.
That's all right. You can throw them on the live.
throw the chats on the live. Hey, come join us.
You just add him to the live,
So,
let him talk, see what happens.
Kid Cutter, I feel that might be even worse. We might get banned from YouTube. I don't know. I don't know. What do you would say if we put him on here?
Michael would be proud of us.
Just to get banned from YouTube? I don't know if that's a proud accomplishment. I mean, it'd be funny. Sure. It would be really funny. Like yeah, we got banned.
You have to be banned at least once.
I don't know. I'd be scared to get banned too many times. I think it's if you get 3 strikes in a certain period of time, you're gone.
Fine. You're no fun. How After Dark is After Dark if we can't get.
That's why you do After Dark on Twitch and always... an 18+ stream.
Yeah. I've never even used Twitch, been on Twitch, none of the stuff.
Laptop Hound can host it.
That sounds good. I'm up for that. I'll just listen in and talk. Oh gosh. Somebody ping.
Oh yeah, here comes watch with Kid Cutter, and then it would be the person you would least expect, like him, and I don't know what they have going on.
Sorry, it makes it more interesting.
We have those 3 checklists, right? There's 3.
Yeah, checklists. Yeah.
So we have one,
a medium, and an easy.
Which, if people pay attention, Spyder is most likely, I'm pretty sure, is the one who put all those together, and some of them are catered. There's little, I guess you could say Easter eggs in the checklist.
I had fun with those.
Yeah, when they're
hard when I was like, I'm making one special. Picked all of
what can you tell us about
cards?
What can you tell us about the physical awards? The communicator. That's a prop replica. Yeah.
Yeah, actually seen them in person or anything. I've just was showing for awards, and that's pretty much all I know about them. So, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I looked at them the best I could with the pictures I had at hand, but I'd have to get information about it based on what they were because I didn't pick them. So more of a here's what we have. This is what we're giving away. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of detail on them.
Yep.
I don't own any of those. I think Trans said he had the China. I think he said Discord yesterday that he had a couple sets of those. Somebody did. I thought it was him.
That most likely, I know he has a bunch of like random track stuff, and I know he has. I've seen some track plates he had hung up on the wall, like when he was still in Texas. So they're probably packed in a box currently because he just moved. What's the value of those awards?
I think that the communicator, if you look on eBay, I think I would be assuming eBay prices, or assume it's going to be between $150 to $200, give or take, maybe a little higher. Just depends. The China, it seems 80 to 100, like at least on eBay. That's the actual true, collector values. I'm basing it on. So yeah, there's another physical award also that I don't know yet. It's I don't think it's been out there unless it's on. Maybe nobody knows about it. I don't know. It's a secret.
Is it in the medium?
I don't know. I think 3. So unless we didn't get the 3rd one, I'll check and find out if that's still going. Because as far as I knew, there were 3. But I mean, we may not. I don't know. I'll have to ask if they're still giving that one away. Kind of crazy around Quidd. We're putting things together like this. We've got a lot of people running around trying to
see.
Oh yeah, they are. They're worth at least $1 million each. The middle one.
That's the 3rd one. What is that? I don't know what that is.
It's a game. It's Star Trek board game, I think it's called. Got a little damage to the box, but it's new. Nobody's ever played it, so all the pieces are all still put together.
I wonder if Trans probably has that too. I think most people want the communicator. From what I've seen, the feedback is
it's pretty cool.
They want the communicator.
I mean, who wouldn't?
That is pretty cool.
It's cool. I mean, I want it, but I actually take part, so that kind of stinks for me.
And so you just have to complete it, and then there's going to be a drawing?
I'm not sorry, I was reading the chat.
Yeah,
everybody who completes 2, the hard and the medium, everybody who completes them are on a drawing for the item. $25 one, the easy one, it's everybody who completes gets $25.
And then how do you win the game?
Not 100% sure. I'm assuming that's going to be some crazy thrown up in the air, announce it, and then people will have to think to earn it, I'm sure.
Make it up
might be a
as they
Twitter
go.
thing. I should have gone on Discord. We should have had the Discord come join over here, the Trekkies, so we can have a Trekkie chat from the Discord.
That would have probably been a good idea. We could have had him come here. We could talk Trek, because I mean there is a meetup Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
Hey everybody, just so you know, this is the Trek meetup. Go let everybody in the chat on Discord know that the Trek meetup is happening now on Quiddcast, and we will talk Trek.
Yeah,
Spyder will talk Trek because I don't know a lot about Trek, and then I'm gonna get booze in the chat because I don't know much about Trek, but at least I'll be honest and won't like.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't actually know much about Trek either. So,
dang, Spyder's spilling that tea.
yeah, he knows.
He was into the animated.
Times for that. He liked the animated
from what I understand.
Series. Yeah, he started taking over all the Trek. I never even had watched Trek. I was like, yeah, seriously. I wanted to hit, but that's all right. He's good at writing, and he liked the challenge, so I felt like giving him a quiz a couple times. So I gotta get him on here so I could quiz him.
Well, he would go like this, and he'd go into him and be like, "What is this?"
Probably.
This is what happens when JRG's not here, and it's Spyder and I. We can talk him a little bit. He's our friend. Like, we love him. Like, we've known him for a long time.
I would shit talk him to his face.
Me too.
As I shit him behind his back, and he knows that's why it's okay. Because I would say everything I'm saying right now to him directly. So I love him.
We've probably said all this to him.
Sure, I've said it to him many times. I used to give him all the time because he hadn't watched Trek. Why are you battling for the Trek rank? Never even seen it. Stop it. Drove me nuts, but that's okay. We had Con and Leany Base that you with me to try to keep JR out of rank. So there's a tidbit of history for you. Especially with it was DS9. DS9, that was the three of us is like favorites. So we would always team up, and guys from out of clan, we're not going to win. Rem was like a beast, and he was not going to ever back down from a ranking challenge.
Doesn't Ramada own like a bunch of Shipashis?
Yep, he was the supplier of the Shipashi first edition. I mean, he had, oh gosh, I can't even remember. It almost seems like he had like 7 points, and everybody would go to him for the Shipashi. Yes, he was here from the start. Like, I mean, pretty much when that set dropped on, and was a Trek fan, so he kind of went nuts with it. And he had his collection was unreal. But people would come to him trying to make deals to get the Shipashi in first edition. That's how I got it. I went to, that's how I got to be friends with him. I had to go like for a while, and messages on Quidd, just trying to. I offered to bake him cookies. I told him I'd come wash his car. I'd do his laundry. It was a whole thing. It took me months to convince him to me, and it still took me, I think, 17 number one prints to get it. But after that, we were friends for
Damn.
the rest of the time here. Yeah, that thing was worth a lot. I mean, it
is still though. I mean, look at the first edition floor. I think the cheapest Shipashi is like $400 in first edition. So when you say you traded 17 one prints, that's still a deal when you think about how much typical one prints are selling for. You figure $20 a pop. I think that's what JD usually buys. Trek one prints, like when they're out there, they're like $20. A lot of them are less. Like the newer sets, they're less. But $20 one print, you're still there.
They were worth a little bit. I mean, but it wasn't like a monetary value. Ones were just worth a lot. Trading option, because we were trading back then, not buying. So it just depended, though. He actually originally asked for, I think, 15 number one Trek prints. He didn't want to take anything but Trek. He was all, and since I was a Trek fanatic, want to trade a bunch of number ones in Trek. Plus, I couldn't get hold of them because they were practically impossible to find. There were so many people that just wanted them. So I finally convinced allow me to trade other number ones besides Trek. I think I gave him a couple of number ones in Trek, but those kind of assorted. But that trade's still there somewhere. It's a crazy trade. I was so happy that day. I remember getting it and like showing. I was so proud. She had no idea what I was talking about. It was just gonna be like I was nuts.
Like what is this?
I'm taking a picture. I'm gonna print it out. I'm gonna frame it, and I'm gonna put. She was just gonna be like I was crazy. It's funny now that I work for Quidd, because I remember like 4 years. I was just some obsessed Quidd fan that was spending way too much money and all of my time on the app, and my whole family thought I was crazy. They were just like, "What are you doing? Such a waste." And see, now I work here. That's how that worked out. Oh, pretty cool.
What can you tell us about? Since I mean, I know you've been here for since the very beginning. Tell us about the VSA.
VSA was crazy because the main thing that messed people up with the VSA was that it dropped in the middle of the set because it was the Vulcan Sun set that we had to collect the whole set to be eligible and to win the Spock Sun Award. And it was not on at that time because it was literally 3 in the afternoon. So people they were working, or it was at school. I mean, because we all had different times. But I seeing that set drop and freaking out because I knew that it would become one of the most valuable items on the app because it was the first pop that was an award. It's our first ever pop award track, which made it even more valuable. So I went nuts. And I mean, a funny thing people don't know is that what to have alts back then. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but first joined the app, they didn't mind if we had an account on each device. 5 devices, you could have an account on each device. It was back then they just said that you could only have 1 account per device, not that you could only have 1 account per user later on. So we had multiple accounts back then, we were allowed, actually would test, certain things and do like beta testing because I had a lot, but my phone wasn't high, iPhone, so we could test things. And so you were able to complete a couple sets on bases at the time. But I went nuts after that dropped, and an hour to finish the set. I mean, it was like they dropped it at 3, gave us an hour to finish, and the award came out. That's why only 207 people got. When people got on later in the day, they were losing their minds because it had already ended. It was over the award. They're all trying to find it. And I went out right after it ended and was trading for the award because I knew it eventually would be worth something. So I ended up with, I think, 7. I argued with him about this. I was like, it's going to be worth a lot. And he was like, nah, it's not going to be worth that. Yes, it is. And I think the next day, trying to find more because he was going on. It was great, though. We had a blast. I mean, even back then, we, I guess 2016, 2017, we were all online. We weren't on, nobody was on Discord then. Everybody was in the line chats. And a lot of us were in a chat with all the Quidd employees. I mean, Woody was in there. I think Michael was in there. I'm pretty sure Carl. All of these people were in the line chat back then, asking questions and finding out, what was going on or whatever it was. It was, I think it was Tribble's chat. Red Skull on there, but Tribble's the one who hoarded all of the white base track. I don't know if you remember Tribble. If anybody else remembers me out, should I stop talking?
No, you're good. I don't like to interrupt.
I know they're saying in the chat that I'm cutting out, so I'm not hearing me. I don't want to keep rambling. But if I'm all good, Tribble's chat was what he was. Good. Okay. Well, maybe I was moving too. I had an itch. So no, I'm not on my phone. I'm on the computer because he said I sounded better. I tried the phone first. So yell at him.
She did try the phone first. It was bad. She dropped out. It was that's why we were a little bit late to start.
Y'all, if you want life,
phone for Discord, but computer for this.
Yeah. I mean, I could climb up the water tower down the street to the park here in my little van and try to broadcast from there, but I might die. So I'm not sure if you want me to take that chance. I might need to be really drunk to do that too, which is probably why I die, because I'd fall off. This is the best I got.
I mean, it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk in my eyes.
Yeah, okay. Next week, I'll climb to the top of the tower first. All this slots and then climb to the top of the tower.
Share the view.
I can't on my phone.
Most likely you just drop the laptop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that could be fun for you guys. Turn on the camera and then drop it so you get to going down. I'm imagining that my village, they patrol the park, and I can imagine the cop like, what are you doing? So, yeah, out there pretty quickly because we're like literally 2,000 people in this village. We've got a couple police officers whom I know. It was the same, which they already do, so that was right. But I was going to say about
so they would call you by your full name. They're gonna call you by your full name and say, "What are you doing?"
Oh, probably. Especially since I knew the best where to find me. He already thinks I wouldn't be surprised. I've done none of your things, so. Tribble's account. Back in the day, when you tried to open it, it wouldn't open. It really bogged down the whole app. You could not open his account. I was going to say that before I did. He had so many white base cards from Trek, so that you could not open his account to look at anything he had because it was fun. Good history.
How many items was that? I mean, because I know they've gotten better. I mean, the servers are better. So, but I would have in the early days if you had 100,000 items or even 50,000 items, 2016 time frame. That's a lot.
Was to collect 1,000 each white base card, and I think there were like 80 in the set.
Damn.
So, I mean, that's
a lot.
And he hit the goal. So it was a lot.
He hit the goal. He had 1,000 of each.
Yeah, and I think he ended up with a lot more than that. But yeah, he had 1,000 of each. And I made him my base because we would all try to trade him just to help him. And you couldn't even open a stupid account to trade him. You couldn't start a trade. It wouldn't open. It was crazy. And I mean, I still have problems to my account. Tim's always telling me things that are happening in my account that are all buggy. He's just like, that's too much stuff. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what he says. Get rid of any of mine. I won't burn it. I won't trade it. I won't sell it. I'll get to stay there forever.
See, now you have me going to look. I want to look at his collection. I'm going to look on the app. And I'm like, how much does he have now?
He sold his account, and so I don't know if he actually would have as many there now, because some other person who bought it just like logged in as him, and strange thing.
Again, that was back when that was allowed. You can't really do that.
You can't do that now. It's against such things. I mean, we've made a lot of changes.
Shit.
Does he still have a lot?
He has 3,000 of each. There's some that are like 1,000, but there's some that there's so many. Holy crap. Talk about a horde. I didn't know that existed because I wasn't here in 2016, so I didn't know that was a thing that existed.
Mm-hmm. Another fun fact about that, just that line chat did a Christmas exchange there. Nobody, that really took part was Quidd Megan, of course, because Quidd Megan was the bomb. The greatest. So nice. But I got mine, so I had to send her a bunch of stuff. Charlie, 1980.
Are you trying to hint we should do that? I mean,
I think we should. I think it would be cool. If we were to have one in the Discord, it'd be fun.
How do you think we'd handle overseas people though? Gift cards, Amazon, like their local Amazon?
Well, like we did with the mods. We did a gift exchange of the mod. Nuo. We sent him a gift card. We found where his stores were near him, and then we got a gift card. I think if I don't remember, I think I'm right.
I think that's right. Or somebody actually sent him something because he was in Indonesia, and then you had Bunny was part of that. Evil Bunny was part of that, and she's in Australia. Mm-hmm. And she got an actual gift. I think someone or something. It just took a little bit because I know she sent out cards because that was fun.
Yeah, I still have her card. I think she drew on it.
You're not getting people trying to get my stuff.
You've been telling stuff for like a year, and you haven't even.
I still have it. I literally still have it. It's literally set aside. I'm like Buffy. Like it's like a wooden, because you read. I know you read. It's a wooden Buffy bookmark that I was like, this is pretty cool. I'm like, I don't like Buffy, but
that's.
But as you, I mean,
I read a lot.
You've seen pictures of the stuff I have. I've pulled stuff out because I was like, damn, I have Trek comics I could give away. I've thought about actually giving away, but I wanted to kind of work that out with you just to be like, hey, if we could give these away. I'm not gonna do anything with them. I don't necessarily collect them. Older ones, I think from the 80s, and I have a couple of the newer ones, but they're free if we can give them away. We could try to figure something out to do.
That'd be cool. I'd like it. We could do that in Discord or wherever.
Because, I mean, there is a place, it's hidden, but there's a place in Discord, because I know at one point in time we talked about doing physical item giveaways.
So good.
And I
love Buff. Sorry.
I have so many different fandoms. I was actually going through, I found a bunch of Funko My Emoji Five Nights at Freddy's that I'm like, I give these away because I have like 20 of them for some reason. I think I have pretty much something from almost every fandom, maybe except Scream Queens. I don't know if I have anything from Scream Queens. I might. I know I have stuff from X-Files. I know I have stuff from Buffy. I know
Are
I
you
have
talking
some Game of
about
Thrones.
physical or digital?
Physical. This is all physical. This is all physical
okay,
stuff that
well,
I'm like, if we work something out,
before you
I
give
can give
any
a
of
lot
that
of stuff
away, well, before you do that, I have to
ask you.
find out what it all is, and then I have to pick what I want before you give it away. That's like all stuff I totally was into. That's like my whole era right there. It's like, yeah. Well, you have to clear with me before you're allowed to do anything. Okay.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. I don't want to get in trouble.
It'd be really cool though to give up collectibles that like we have in the app.
I literally have the cards that we have in app. Like I have extras. I think I have some of the extras from Adventure Time. I might have some duplicates from Rick and Morty. I know I have duplicates from Rick and Morty. I mean, I bought half a case. And then Steven Universe, I have a shit ton. Like I'm pretty sure I probably have 10 full sets of the base cards. I think I have 10 sets of the inserts, which are the albums. The albums we got in app, they actually made that album set and their die cuts. So actually pretty cool. But it's
Those
something
cool.
we can make.
Like
It's something we potentially make happen.
I don't see
It's
why
a matter
not.
of if Quidd wants to pay me shipping, if Quidd will pay shipping for me, or if they have an account where I can just print a label, I would 100% do it.
I can find out.
'Cause
I don't see a problem. It's pretty cool. It'd be nice to do in Discord. I'd like that. I think everybody.
Well, especially like Steven Universe, I'd love to give away a set because since I'm the top ranker in the thing, it'd be kind of cool to get a set from the person who's top rank. Rick and Morty, I couldn't necessarily do that because I'm really weird about those. I don't have as many. I might have 2 sets, but some of them are different. Steven Universe, they have what I guess you could call shinies, which there's literally no difference except the foil of the star is different. The normal star I think is like gold or silver, and then the shiny version is pink. And I bought enough because I bought a case and a half worth of Steven Universe cards, so that's 18 boxes. 18 boxes of cards, and I got a set of the. I think I have a set of the shiny ones too.
I've bought physical or was buying a lot of was Stargate, like a complete Stargate fanatic for a while. So I bought boxes of those. I've opened them all up, trying to get. I had some X-Files and Buffy though too. Just a couple though, real ones. I don't know what happened to those.
I don't actually. I'm reading the chat. I don't think I have all the foils for Rick and Morty. So when Cryptozoic released those, when they did the physical cards, they had season 1, which they didn't have the odds. So the way Cryptozoic worked with their boxes and why like Steven Universe is you were guaranteed 1 sketch card and 1 autograph per box, which is why I bought so many because I was on the hunt. I wanted Rebecca Sugar autograph from Steven Universe, and I have 2. I have 1, and my daughter has 1. Rick and Morty, when they released them, the first set, the autographs were not guaranteed. I don't think. I think it was like 1 in 36 packs, so you didn't get 1 per box. And I don't even think I finished the full. I don't even think I have a full set of everything. I don't even think I have all the inserts or anything. And then the season 2 they did, it was guaranteed an autograph and a sketch per box, and that's where I got Jerry. Of course, I pulled a Jerry, but it's cool because we have card counts, and I pulled a 1 out of 25, like the actual like 1 print of an autograph card, which was pretty cool. And then I think that's right around when we were losing Cryptozoic. It was not because Quidd lost the Cryptozoic necessarily. It was because Cartoon Network was pulling Cryptozoic. Like they lost the contract to Cartoon Network. So season 3, when they released the cards, they didn't actually even do sets for Rick and Morty. You paid $75 and you got a pack that literally had, I think, an autograph and 2 sketch cards. And you had a chance that you hit. They cut up a piece of an actual script that they had and they put it in there that you could possibly pull, and it was like 1 in 10. So it was like super expensive. I'm not Jerry, this guy.
So about if you like the Rick and Morty like whisper, and I heard the number one.
Well, no, I know
you threw in there too. No.
Well, it's funny. I never thought I'd hit number one.
In the channel.
I never thought I'd hit number one because when I started, I saved 1 prince and they went to fan crazy because, and like you said, back in the day of trading, people who ranked paid very well. So if they wanted that number one, they would give you pretty much everything they could think of. And so I would always accept. Like he gave me like a 3rd edition poster or something on one. He's like, I can't give you a 1st edition, obviously, because those were like harder than hell to trade for at the time. But he set up a lot of my needs, and so like with cash, I was pushing, and I'm like, I could take 1st. That was always the thing. Like, I wonder if it can happen. Like, can I spend enough money to get it? And it's not necessarily. I know a lot about the show.
That's part of trading, honestly. Yeah, I watched it too. I don't remember a lot of
the overpayments for 1 prince.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was looking for ones in track, because I had pretty much at one point in time before I became it, I had the whole act finished, like everything I had done, like every set. I was complete across the board, complete completionist. I was at it, but when I would go to trade new people that would pull those, pretty much fill in any of their needs because I had ridiculous amounts of things that I could, dispose of. I guess you should say. A bunch of dupes of everything. So yeah, that was back then. But it got to a little crazy at the end where you couldn't really trade for anything. I'm not sure why that happened exactly.
Hyper strikes. That's why. When hyper strikes came out, it was.
Well, I mean, not really though, because before that, though, we are lots of people coming in. I don't know if it was like younger people. Maybe that's what it was, influencers or something else. I'm not sure. But right there at the end, before we went to cash, it became a thing where you couldn't trade for pretty much like anything. I mean, it's rare. It could just be any card, any pop, anything. And everybody just had it out, awards, pops, rare items. I mean, you couldn't trade for any terrible. It got so hard to finish a set, not even to look for number one, finish a set. But before that, I mean, I used to go out, for a long time, I'd go out on the feeds and, people, like, whatever they were looking for, like something easy, like FNAF, actually. A lot of kids came into FNAF. And I had a ton. I still do FNAF because that's why I started Quidd in the first place, FNAF. So I had like so much extra. I find these kids looking for stickers, and I would start a trade and give them like a couple sets, and then just take like one random thing from them and trade up that. It was fun for me. I used to enjoy doing it.
I think there's a lot of people who used to do that. That's how I finished some Adventure Time, because I read coins and I had spent a bunch on those Adventure Time presents. It was for the Princess Bubblegum medal. You had to, the only way that Quidd was going to release that item is they had to sell out a specific set. And I was like, I couldn't even get the top cards, and I got discouraged, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna get this award. And somebody's like, listen, I'll trade you what you need. Like, don't worry about it. Like, let's just all help each other get the award. And then it was a push to be like, now you have to sell the set out. People left. They was like, screw it. I think that's why the Adventure Time medals, for anybody who's ever looked at them, why there's so many that are unclaimed is because some of those sets took forever to actually get them released. So that one, was
cool
terrible.
Sets in Adventure Time, though. I loved some of those sets.
Oh yeah,
they were cool. We had some really cool ones. The Hyper Strikes killed.
I think
honestly.
I think pretty much all of the stuff that was Cryptozoic, and I know Cryptozoic very well because I know people who have worked with Cryptozoic and done sets for them. So I know why they most likely lost their license to network, just speaking to artists who have worked with them. I mean, realistically, like when you see these cards and you see these sketch cards, and like in real life they're 1-of-1s. Like when you pull a sketch card, that's 1-of-1. That's it. There's not anything. It's an original, like they've colored or however they've done their art on the card. They only get paid about $2 to $3 a card to make those. They're essentially supposed to make. What they do is when they get them, they send back so many artist proofs, and then the artist then sells that off. So when you go to eBay and you see the artist selling an artist proof, that's how they're making their money on it. Because typically those should be worth more because it's an artist proof. That means the art, it's coming from the artist. That was in the artist's hands at some point. People who are into that. I think I have about 4 artist proofs because when I found that out, I'm like, well, now I have to buy your cards. Like, you're only getting $2 a card and you want $100 for your sketch. I'm going to buy your sketch for $100, no matter how good or bad your art is, simply because of the fact if that's the only way you're getting money, that doesn't seem right. Especially because they do have sketches. Like they could do like 20 sketches and they make like $40. It's to me is ridiculous.
I think that it's me, but it seems like I don't know, I'm back on Star Trek every week. Have you seen a lot of people coming back? Because it seems like I've seen quite a few older people out selling things, which I think is really good.
I've seen your friend is active. No, well, you said that, and it's funny. I look at the hard checklist because I didn't do those. You know, I don't want to take away from somebody that's a true Trek fan to win something by completing a checklist. Like I feel that's not right. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a true
fan. Would you remember that? You can't have that card because that's why people wouldn't get the She card, because if they couldn't prove that, nobody would even consider trading it to them. Never.
No.
Except for the She card. The only way people were considering buy or trade for that literally was one of the qualifications to get the She. Even trade, have the whole channel. Except for that, you're one piece of the pie. That was it. It was a thing.
Yeah, I've noticed, and it's cool to see some of the old names who are like that I see consistently active, like Tiny Dragons. Like she's been buying, like I've seen her selling and buying stuff and completing the checklist. So seeing like I do see old names that have came back. You probably recognize them more because Trek is that's your stomping ground. I would only know if like Rick and Morty people came back, because we all like you know how it is, like when trading, if you have heightened community, if you missed a drop, somebody would snag dupes and be like, hey, I bought extra because you said you were going to be working. Did you get a complete set, or do we need to make a trade happen so I can make sure, because I know you're going to miss the drop?
We did that.
There's so much of that, like in Rick and Morty. I did that all the time.
Well, in the line groups, that's what we did. In those chats over there, we would all are out in those groups, and since I mean, Trek was my main focus for a long time, but I collected, so I kind of knew who was like top collectors in each one. These chats, I mean, this would be good if JR was here. He had a chat that they had like kind of all of the top rankers in each channel that were in that. We always could trade amongst each other to help each other if we missed stuff. It worked out really well. We always gave each other our lows in certain stuff, like if somebody was trying to get the lows, I mean, in like Firefly, like Elon, we would help him with the Fireflies battling kind of with a couple other people. So it was, who did we get to trade it to this time? They would decide, who got to rank it themselves, and then we would just help whoever. I've seen a lot. It seems like, I'm wrong, but I've seen a lot of people coming back, at least for Trek Week. That was the whole point of putting those recollections together the way I did, because I assumed some old people, older, the OG is not necessarily old, but come back who had all that Trek stuff in 2016 and 2017, because I didn't do it in 2016 and 2017 to put in those. So I hoped that would bring them back to see, start taking part. And I've seen actually started texting her yesterday because I was like, oh my God, where have you been? Kind of fall out.
It's nice though
with people. I can just
It's nice when you look at the sales too with Trek, because when you look at the floor of like that hard checklist, like it's pretty steady. All that old Trek stuff still has value, and these checklists have kind of proven it. Because you'll see stuff you're like $10, like why? It's like, well, it's first edition. It didn't even leave for like. There's some that didn't even leave first edition. I mean, there's like that 50th anniversary set that didn't sell out. That was hard to find. That people so, like, you know, when people came back, if they didn't know, some people bought stuff and didn't know the value. Because I think there's a couple I ended up with some, but it's because somebody listed a bunch of them for like 50 cents or something. And I'm like, do they not know what this is? Buy all these, and I think I sold one to JV because I think he was missing. I think they were missing a couple, but I could be wrong. I still have a couple. Like that's essentially started collecting like, to be honest, and I said this in the chat earlier. I started collecting Trek mainly because of you, because when it got to a point, started noticing you weren't collecting sets because you were working the Quidd side, and it was essentially when you left from being head mod to staff, you stopped collecting it. So anytime somebody's seen you collect a set, we're like, oh shit, Spyder's actually collecting. I started collecting Trek around that time because I'm like, well, if she needs it, like, here, have these sets, because I don't care. Like, I like hitting the lows, and I like the chases and everything like that. But I don't want anybody to miss out because, like you said, at one point in time, you had the whole app completed. I mean, you were up there with being crazy like Schmitty. I mean, Schmitty had everything and it was like, I'm going to complete all the channels, even after Hyper Strike. Schmitty has a Lapis from Universe, that Lapis lighting that there's only like 9 that actually are in circulation. Schmitty tried to complete everything. And I think people who do that, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, when I was completing though in everything, everything got really crazy low count too. Because I mean, back when I was collecting, we never really. I think I'm trying to remember what the lowest was, remember offhand, but I don't think much lower than 100 count, and that was the ship sheet. I mean, it wasn't like it is now where we get like, you know, top 9, 1 of 1, top 5. Everything's low now, but back then it was the lowest you would have it be like 100 count. So it was a little bit easy to hold of things. I mean, it was hard, but as hard as it would be like now paying for 1 of 1, obviously, like with the gauntlet, which I mean, obviously is the most expensive thing ever been sold on the app. That's just left, I guess.
Chaser's still around. Because he was what was it? His name? He changed it from Chaser Storm to our Gauntlet. When after he sold it, he went back to Chaser Storm. I still see him once in a while pop in. He still collects sets. So yeah, after he sold that, he's like, I am out. he took a little bit of time off.
Well, he's like, 12 grand. I mean, I'm good. I'm gonna take a vacation. I'll come. Yeah. Who said that?
Right.
I can't remember the name. There was another. Why can I not remember the name? I'm terrible. My brain is telling you. I have a concussion. The oxygen in my head gave me a concussion. I can't think of her name now. There was another person that was complete pretty much everything. We helped each other.
I'm trying to think.
A new person came in, and she wanted to complete everything, and that was pretty cool for me because she was stuff coming out, and then she would help me with any sets I missed or give me stuff, and then I would just give her stuff she needed from like in the past that she couldn't get a hold of. I think it's strangely enough, she coming up to that point over time. She probably spent a bloody fortune, but the last thing that she could not get, hardest thing to get on the app is strange, was FNAF. Was I think it was like a Halloween glow. It was like a special set for Halloween. It was collector's edition.
Is it the starter?
And she couldn't get. No, I can't remember. I want to say it's like the fall collection, but I'm not even sure.
Is that the one that's like 350? Is it those really low card count ones, stickers? I think I know what you're talking about. Those are even now like those are harder than hell to find on market.
Yeah, you can't really find them right where you couldn't. I mean, I haven't looked in a long time, but really hard to get a hold of. And back then, especially, everybody had left. That had it was like, it just was impossible. I'm trying to look through real quick to see what that's going because I can't remember. I know it was a Halloween one though. It was like the first year. Like,
you have me curious. Like, what's it?
It was trick or treat emojis, maybe. Was it that one? Oh, I don't know. Now I have to look because I'm confused. I can't remember. Oh, maybe it wasn't. It seems it was all glow. That's what. Maybe. No, I think I found it. As I just take my time searching. Yeah, I think it was the collector's edition Torchica. So maybe it was a thing. This is a Torchica thing. It was 1,000 count.
Oh, the one. Remember those? Yeah, I remember those. Those were actually hard to get too. Just like the first edition like, exotic butter. I don't know, like people that wanted to collect. Like, do you have a first edition exotic butter? I'm like, what? No, like I don't want to trade you then.
Well, I mean, I was still able to trade some of the Chica set, even the lower, like the bottom end ones, were still being traded because they were just it was a hard set to get if you came in for FNAF. And I have way many because I tried to rank it, so I'm number 1 in that set. So there we go. I bragged for myself. I was trying to.
Have you seen on the website that if you go look on the site, a lot of the changes that Michael's talked about exist?
I haven't really.
Like if I go into a set, show me like.
I haven't really been on the website much. It drives me a little nuts not to be getting the website, but I just find anything on the website. To the app, I'm just like an old dog or something. I can't think. Nemesis in FNAF with Midnight Pokemon. Battling each other. And then it was Yaya and Valiant. Yaya's still here. Did she pretty much leave? Now I can't hear you, so I don't know if it's my connection or your connection. Oh my!
I think it depends. Like I know
I cannot hear you. I don't know. My connection's freaking. If it's your connection,
no, it's mine.
I'm like not able to hear.
It's 100% mine. I'm like, cut out. I seen it.
Yeah, I could just say.
Stop.
It was all like, and then all of a sudden you stopped really fast. I
didn't say anything. That's that happens. That's why I don't like the website too much. Also, it's. I mean, again, I'm on an old. I mean, laptop. It's my original work laptop, so it's 2016. So
mine's 2007.
But on the app, on the web. Oh, see, that's why we have problems. Take the red pill. Nah.
Take the red pill. Why?
I was reading the. That's That's the one we're supposed to take.
The red pill. The red pill. Yeah, it is. That's one of the reality of the real world. So you stop living in the machine, correct? I knew that. Right? I think I'm right. Maybe wrong. I don't know. I thought I was right. I think you're back now.
Let's talk. Let's see. I am back.
I
think I'm back, right?
EHM is back.
Don't say I'm right back. I think I'm back. I just have to be very careful with what I do.
I think it's a delay. And I said to Midnight Pokemon, who was a user, who's battled me in every FNAF So I wasn't actually teasing any kind of Pokemon. I was saying that there was a user that was called that, but always fought me for every flip.
I'd say I remember that name. I recognize that name. There's a lot of people. I think were they a mod?
No.
At one point in the beginning?
No, I don't think I wasn't a mod in the beginning. So the very first mod group that was started had hundreds of people, and I don't think I was in it right at the beginning. And then it got weeded down quite a bit. Then I got brought in, strangely enough, and then he got ousted.
He who shall not be named.
Exactly. The shall not be named fella that was in. Yeah, and me and Angel.
We don't
oust him.
You still talk to Angel?
Not really. No.
So no.
Connect her on LinkedIn, but I don't really talk to her.
Next, I remember she took like a promotion or something, right? And that's what.
A new job. She got a new job with Google. Was what she did when she left. Didn't have to do any modding anymore. She had gotten a new job. What was her full name?
Yeah, and then you have us now. We're just crazy.
Now we don't have any mods anymore. Not right now, anyway.
I mean, a mod. Nuo's still technically mod.
Kinda.
He actually.
All of us kind of do, really. I mean, it's like we got the title removed, even though I haven't changed it now because I haven't been able to, but we still just for the heck of it. I know Nuo has it. I think that somebody else that does too, isn't there? I mean, I don't know. It seems like people still help out, whether given a title or not, they still help because that's how people in the community are. It's a good thing.
So what do we have coming up? I know last week we had Satoshieverse. That did well. They have a game. They have a preview of where they're at with their game. I believe tomorrow at 12. I think tomorrow 12 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. You could see a preview of the Satoshieverse game development where they're at in production.
Pokemon. Why does everybody keep thinking we're getting Pokemon? What's going on?
Because you can't say Pokemon, you can't say usernames.
It's a username, though. It's not. No, it's a username. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut up. I didn't mean to start reading the chat. No Pokemon. No. Okay. Back to you. Game.
I mean, if you were Michael, though, you would say anything's possible if you're having a conversation. You know, I could be talking to any license, but I wouldn't be able to disclose any of that information because of NDAs. They exist. It's just a rule in the game. We don't talk about anything that we're working on.
He would say something
like that, right? And pretty much.
That's why.
That's what he would say, though.
I don't.
Anything's possible.
I'm not half the time
really
savvy or whatever you want to call it. I'm not. Yeah, that's that. Look at that. See, Quidd plays like Pokemon. Watch, it'll be the next clickbait, and it's all my fault. This is why I don't do podcasts.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
This is why you don't. No, this is why you don't like doing a live podcast. That's the difference. Message Center. Right. Yeah, Message Center. Message Center should be coming soon. We'll see primitive. Yeah. It sounds like we'll see a very primitive version probably early December.
Like from the council meeting. They're concentrating right now more on the shop screen and the profile screen. They're trying to fix that so that it's a little bit more user friendly and not quite so clunky to get around. And
for anybody who is coming back, the return of the news feed. You probably, for anybody who's newer, you probably have never seen the news feed, but essentially that was where we used to go to get all of our information. So we'll see something similar to that, but it's more going to be content created by the community for the community. which should be something nice. And yes, that does mean comments will be turned back on.
Oh, yep. People be able to comment.
Something you don't. That's something you don't know. I mean, not everybody knows that. I mean, I could tell you a lot of stuff that wouldn't break NDA. I know how to skirt around the fine line.
I don't really have a bunch of secrets, or maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
You do. I know some of your secrets. You do.
Yeah. I may not. I don't know.
The news feed will be nice, and I think it will. I think that may spark some of the older users to return, because that's what a lot of people missed. They didn't like that. I know a lot of people didn't like that they felt forced to go to Discord, but at the time, you have to understand it made the most sense, because you have to admit there's a point in time that the feed was pretty toxic. Spyder got attacked all the time in the feed because of anything going on.
Yeah, it was when we moved over to Discord. It was really nice and positive in Discord for a while. Eventually, just kind of got a little bit toxic there for a while too. But in the app, it was bad for a while in the app, and it got to where we off comments and just do sticker comments, and that wasn't very much fun for anybody. So we went to talk. That's why we moved to Discord, so we could still talk, chat. Now, if we bring back the news feed, it'll be another new users coming in. That'll be a nice place for them to be able to go and help from OGs that are on there, or any of us that are hanging out on the feeds, and help the new users learn the app and how to do things. Because, I don't know, would understand any of what's going on if we don't tell them the history of the app and why things are the way they are. And that's probably a good thing for the newsfeed part of the things that we'll try to add to it. Maybe highlights to certain sets, and grails are considered grails. And that's a big thing for new users to add. And I remember a time when people came 100%. In after grails, and they only went after grails, like after nothing but grails, like they weren't collecting grails. That's all they wanted. There was a time.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't have anything good to trade for.
Exactly. They just wanted it, and they tried to get all these grails, and that's probably the time when people were like, "You're not getting you complete all of track." Or a VSA, for that matter, because I as a VSA became a girl. I'm concerned. I need to see how many VSAs I have. I gave a couple away. So there are the second.
I think you have like 3.
Do I? I have more than that. But
I think I know you at least have 2. I may have been looking at your account to see what you had, because I was curious. I'm like, how many do you have?
I thought I had more than that. I must have traded. I know that
you might have VSAs, more.
I traded one of them for Mabru. I don't know how you say the person's name. It's like DMABRE. They were on for a long time back in the day. And they just came back recently. I've seen them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They were going in identity, and I'm like, oh no, like I need to rank that.
Oh no.
I don't want to compete with OGs.
I traded one of my VSAs to them for a Game of Thrones set with the dragons. It was like impossible to, so expensive, and you just kept pulling the last one instead of the really low one. I don't think nobody really had those first couple. I can't remember. I don't know what it was. A set of like pops. It was like the dragon pops. Anybody that did Game of Thrones would know what I was talking about.
Are those the ones that move?
I think so, and it seems like they were like 100 count. I don't. There was a really low set of dragons that came out that were way overpriced, expensive, and the odds were terrible, so you couldn't get them, and got them. And I traded a VSA for that whole set. Looking back, now I want my VSA back.
We can find them.
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm looking for the VSA now because I need to see my mouth. I'm curious. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. I'm going to have to go buy a bunch now.
They're not too bad. I think what is the floor right now is like $100. I could be wrong, but it's nice that the value's kind of held up on those, because those were like the original. Those were the original grails to have.
The original grail is she. The second edition she. Funny thing. I had way more. They dropped a messed up pack with the second edition she. Odds were off, and it made getting them easy. It was like 1,000 packs dropped because it was when they first re-editioned the she, and they were dropping packs randomly, just kind of like flashback type deals to be on at that time. See the pack and go buy them. Dropped one where the odds were wrong, so before they all sold out, we all and I pulled like 7 in that drop edition cheese, and then I gave them to my friends who didn't get them. I have 5. See, I was getting a little concerned there.
You have 5? Damn. Okay. I knew you at least had 2, but I was also looking lower prints. I'm like, who owns these? Let's see.
Yeah, there's one out there that's 80 cents, way cheaper than I would have expected the BSA to go for, but right. She still retains its value.
How many she's do you have?
I'm going to look right now because I know I only have one first edition because that's the same one I got way back when. Another.
Yeah, the cheapest first edition, $750. So
that's so crazy. That is so crazy.
Even
I really wish I would have. I tried to get another first edition, but I asked Rem to give me another one. He was like, "You got one, good enough." Like, fine.
Even second editions, the cheapest second edition is $5.
I have. Let's see. Looks like I have 5. So I probably have like one first edition, couple second, maybe. I wanted all the editions. I wanted to get the fourth too, but there was only like 2 or 3 of these by accident. So yeah, second edition and 1 third edition, and 1 first. But I would have liked to have had the 4th edition, but I don't even know. Did I hear somebody that deleted those?
There's been I think a ship of sheet got burned. There's a ship of sheet I think that got burned, and then there's a VSA that got burned. There's like 3 VSAs that got burned, I think.
That's a tragedy. What's that about? Why?
They were mad they couldn't wash and they got busted. Yep, the 85 print. An 85 print first edition ship of she was burned. If they would, the thing that's crazy is if they would have waited, because I think they bought it and they tried to wash it, and then when they got caught, they just burned it. If they waited, they could have actually made a good return, because I think they bought it for $200. They could have sold it for probably like $4 or $5 if they would have waited. But people want money fast. That's what washing is people are just trying to get money out. It is a waste.
That's sad.
I don't like that people can do that. Like, it makes me mad that you can just burn that.
So now, then the ship of she is a 99 count now. The one was burned.
Technically, yeah.
I am going to go on a mission, I think, after this call. Find somebody with the first edition and get it from them. I'm going to try to sell me one for not super expensive.
What's your floor? How much you want to spend on one?
No, I think 200 is probably about what I would be willing to do. I mean, 500, that's crazy high. 750, there's like JR and his 5,550, whatever. Is it all 5? Obviously, that's a little crazy. I'm going to go because I think it's ridiculous. I'm just kidding. not gonna do that. It's the one that's out there for
I
like
will,
$5 grand.
just because it's JRG, not because it's ridiculous.
That's what I was just gonna do because it's his, just to mess with him. But yeah, that's really high. But yeah, they're crazy high. Glad I got the one I got. But how many Rem has still? Still has quite a few. These are the people I'd like to see come back. Meanie and Rem, they were great. All the old crew. Wait, one point.
I think the cheapest I've seen a first edition. The cheapest I've seen a first edition sheet, I think, was like $100.
That's a deal.
Because I bought it.
Deal.
Yeah,
of course you did.
I bought it for. Well, no, I bought it for Pixie. Pixie didn't have the money to buy it, and so I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because I expect that to be given to me now for Christmas. I was kidding.
You're like, I just asked for one.
Just transfer it over. I'll take it. Thanks.
Hey, you did finally get your perfect set.
Oh, I know. I already had a perfect set, so but the Spyder perfect set is way. I mean, kind of. It's a fighter, so it's way cooler. So it's awesome. The Stay Tuned set was. I will always be the biggest accomplishment on Quidd. Next to getting hired by Quidd. That's one of my big accomplishments too. But getting that Stay Tuned set, that was crazy. Were you on the app when that happened, that whole drop? Or was that?
No, it was not. That was before my time.
That was a neat drop. It was so crazy. Yeah, drop it like anything else. I mean, we've really not done any since. I mean, it was just like 50 packs would get to like $9.45. You'd only know because they'd be in the feed. It's like, I think it was Quidd Noah, those the old employees would come in the feed and be like, okay, 15-minute packs of Stay Tuned. And that was like only like warning or any kind of dot ahead of time. So you have to be sitting there for 15 minutes and then you have to refresh like a maniac until they were by them and you had like 1 second, maybe 2 to get one all gone. It was crazy. And he did it like that. They did 25. Sometimes they do like, an encore. There's 25 more for you, and those would be gone even faster. But that was how they dropped all of them until that. So it was nuts because at that time I was working a different job, and I was in CNA classes. I was actually doing like a residency at a nursing home, so I was having to try to stop in the middle of work to like real quick and check and see what's dropping and get in. We had to live on the app back then. I mean, we literally had to be on 24 hours a day. I mean, the FNA stuff they dropped, FNAF stuff, with a couple that were at midnight, like late night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. That's security. That one was all super late at night, and they dropped it crazy too. I mean, they kept you engaged and on the app at all hours. It was almost too stressful because for an hour you were likely to miss something. In the Eclipse set, have you seen the Eclipse set in Firefly?
Yeah, those are expensive.
That's because no one knew they existed or were going to come, or we had no. It just so happened that they decided to drop them on the day of the eclipse. Like it was just everybody's like getting their preparing for this eclipse that's supposed to happen, and that after because I was in an area that was like in the direct area of the eclipse, so we're going to go outside and we're going to watch the eclipse happen, and then boom, right in the middle of it all dropped. It was just like, wait, what? I mean, if we hadn't have been paying attention, missed it altogether. Luckily, I lived on the app. I was literally like a squid, and I caught them and got them. But I mean, if you hadn't been on the app, that you went outside to watch the eclipse with your kids, you just didn't get that set. I mean, that's the kind to do. It was crazy.
Midnight holo drops.
Yeah, we did that too.
Holo drops were the worst.
Well, that's that FNAF, the security camera. It was something. Along those lines. It was a huge set, a couple of them each night. at like midnight. You had to just be up to catch up crazy. And then they did some other stuff in FNAF like that too, where they'd find the pack to buy the set. We were always doing weird stuff like that. And that's how Firefighter Gold was too. They kind of dropped them sort of like Stay Tuned, where they dropped packs just random out. I always thought that was fun, but really, really stressful. Stay Tuned being so low. I mean, we had feeds back, and we had the whole app on the feeds were helping me find the one. Or a message when they found them and telling me where they were. And then people have to trade to the people that had the one so that I could get the ones. Was it Britab? Do you remember Britab? Do you know who that is? She gave ones.
I do know who that is. Yeah.
And she gave me ones, and I think it was because the person that pulled the one in Breaking Bad would only take an exchange. So she gave me
Was it JRG?
Yeah, no.
It sounds like a JRG thing.
I don't think JRG was on the app then. He wasn't around.
Who's the other one? K Brown?
I don't think he was on the app.
K Brown,
but I'm sure
that's it.
He was. Yeah, he was the big Family Guy ranker. Sure, Kenny was a kid. He still follows me on Facebook, I think. But I don't know. I don't know if he's even on at that time. He kind of came in, I think. If he was, he wasn't as dedicated at that time. So, but it was because Britab, Family Guy, and she gave me the ones. And, I mean, I had other people give me ones at other channel with, other ones from other people. So it was crazy. It was a fun time, though. I mean, because I was, like I said, off like trying to work and stuff, miss things, and then I'd have people telling me, "Oh, this person's got the puck to them. They're holding it. You just need to give them this." So that it was like at the end, it was like everybody helped me. So it wasn't even really my big accomplishment app wide.
But
and you actually
yours,
see the description.
Yeah, that's what I say. I had to pull up the set. It's just I was trying to make sure it wasn't like lagging. Point out. So this is what you'll see in app where it says top collector. Be there. So as we see, like that's not ever gonna change. There's no way anybody could ever take that from you. And it has your name in here. It was during. It says head mod, so they had to have changed that because you weren't head mod. But when they updated that. But yeah, pulling the spider.
I think that one of the community managers, one of them changed it because he heard about it and was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy," and added it. So yeah, it was when I was a mod, but it obviously happened way before that when the whole pulling the spider came to be a thing. Oh gosh, I just forgot her name. There was somebody who wrote a rap song about Quidd and had pulling a spider in.
We have to find that. Is it on YouTube? We have got that, and we will review it.
it was Glitter Pop Rock. Do you remember her?
I know the name.
Glitter Pop Rock. Yeah, she used to be on a lot too, and she wrote a rap and sang it. I tried to find it a while back. It's got videos on YouTube, but that's not on there. So I don't know whatever happened to it, but it was. She just had covered all the things Quidd, like everything Quidd, extra stuff in there. It was pretty cool. Maybe I'll have to talk to her and see.
I would say this your set, your perfect set, if I had to say, is the most valuable perfect set that exists on the app. I don't think anything else even could come close to it.
I'd like to agree. But I mean, there are some sets that maybe are lower count and weighted and valued more. But as far as this set goes, I think it was the coolest set at the time. It's still pretty cool. And it was, I don't know, I think it's probably my personal favorite. It'll always be what I consider my most, valuable set. I've had offer for a long time, and I'll never sell it. It'll never happen. People have tried to buy it.
What's your highest offer? What's the highest offer you got? 10 grand? $10,000.
I know.
$10,000,
I don't
you got perfect set.
I don't think it was quite that high, but it does seem maybe 1,000, 500, 1,000 on just the settle. And I was like, nope, sorry, not trading it. It's too beautiful. It's lovely. Yeah, it was. People wanted it with the app, like if they were collecting Breaking Bad. But back, I think, before Breaking Bad, before we stopped having it, before it became one of the channels, we were still having drops, and people were collecting this set a lot. But no, go away. I tried to do some perfect sets in track. Never failed. Whenever I would try to do a perfect set in another channel, like Firefly Gold, I tried to get 4 1s, and I could not find the last. I mean, we looked everywhere in the app and could not find. I think it was either the 3rd or the 4th one, and I think I have a 2 instead. But I could not find that one for anything. And then they dropped a 2nd edition, which was insane. But I got all the 1s and 2, except I think one of them I only had a 2 in, so it was like the thing happened. But it's really hard to get a perfect set nowadays. It was hard for a long time after this. Everybody kind of wanted to do it, or they wanted to hold, because we didn't used to do value ranking. I mean, that's another thing. We never, for the Quidd, we didn't have value ranking. We didn't search for 1s and values. We didn't even have that option at the time. Some of us really lows because they just looked cool. We just wanted a 1. It just sounded fun. But there was no value on the sets. That didn't even happen until the first set that was Transporter Fail in Star Trek. That was when we first got to see. Nobody remembers that or not, but I think Shafar was number 1 in Transporter Fail when Transporter Fail in Star Trek was the first set on. That was when they announced it, and they told us what thing, and they explained it. Whoever was, I think I was in the top 21, but I wasn't trying to rank at that time. But I'm pretty sure Shafar when that came about. Anybody remember Shafar?
That's somebody I do remember.
Yeah, she used to. Her and Elon would battle Firefly ranks. I battled her ranks in Firefly. I don't remember what something. I can't remember. At the first, I like it was in the Nightmare Before Christmas. I was going to say Nightmare Before Christmas. It could have been Marvel. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but maybe I'm thinking.
Or was it Disney? You might be right. It might have been Disney. It might have been a Disney for sure. So now we have to find out. See, we have these answers now.
I know. That's what happens when I get questions and I don't know them, and it drives me nuts because I'm like, I should know this. But, I mean, seriously, it's hard to remember all this stuff. I try to remember everything I can. It's like trying to teach somebody new about the history of Quidd. Not as easy as it sounds, because there's just so much that has happened over the course, with people and the app and the employees and the set mechanics, and there's just been so many changes. The app is totally different than it used to be, so it's like there's so much.
And the scandals. I mean, there were some Quidd scandals.
There were Quidd scandals. I was actually involved in a couple, unfortunately, not on my own, by my own choice, mind you. I got brought into some stuff that I really didn't want to be involved in. There was a time when I was public enemy number 1. I mean, I'm sure I've talked times. Literally, people just hated me because I was a mod.
For no reason.
How dare I? Yeah.
It was bad. Everybody. I think so many people hated us. No reason. You didn't do anything.
Well, and when we first, the big mistake I made was when we first went from trading to the cash, or to the, I forget it was cash at the time, but when we first moved from trading to the aftermarket, when they announced it, I wasn't wasn't working yet. I was just a mod. And I made the mistake on Twitter. Just never go on Twitter. Never do that. But I went out there and was, guys, because everybody was throwing like just a tantrum. They were so unhappy. They were sure everything was over. It was destroyed. It was the end of the world. And I was like, let's see how it goes. I mean, I kind of think it sounds like it could work out well because you'll be able to complete your sets, do it really easy and really cheap, and you won't. I was trying to just, be positive. No, not like that at all. I got mob attacked. It was the only time ever I've been here was legitimately like just traumatized. Practically, I was so upset because a bunch of people like just after me and they just were so mean podcast about me and just trash talking on the podcast. It was not. How is this even happening? What is going on? It was not at all.
No, that's one of the things I don't like. It took me a while to actually want to create a Twitter because I knew everything that had happened to you, and I was like, I don't want that to happen to me too.
Yeah,
there are some people who don't like us.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Everybody doesn't have to like you, and I'm totally all right with that. It was just that it was mean. It was mean. It was unnecessary. It was just not needed for what was going on. It made no sense. These were grown adults that I had, mind you. Oh, that reminded me of a whole other thing that happened. Yeah, totally. There's so many different. What was the word? I can't remember now. See, I'm getting tired and my head hurts. But there's so many different. What?
Scandals?
Sorry. My brain, I'm telling you. Yes. I could not think of that. I could not think of that. But there are other scandals, and I'm remembering them now. The more I talk, the more I remember, and it's crazy. We had so many. We were so dramatic. It was just all this user stuff. All grown adults, though, is what was the worst thing. All adults, and like the people that went after me on Twitter were all. I knew them from in the OG collectors, and I knew how old they were, and I knew about their lives because we'd been in other chats together, and they went full force, and we're going on Twitter again. Never gonna do it. But there's been plenty of scandals. I could make our next episode all about Quidd.
We could do a Quiddcast Scandals edition. I mean, won't say names, but we could talk about some of the crazy stuff that's happened. That would be fun.
It would be fun. And I mean, to be fair, JR needs to join some of this because so many scandals. He was like the scandals.
Oh yeah, all of them.
I'm telling you, he got just because I was friends with him. I'd get because I tried to be supportive of JR. He was the king of the scandal. Like hated JR for a long time, and they were always bullying him. Big buddy, you should call him buddy sometimes. He hated that. He hated. They did it on purpose, just because he didn't like.
We'll do that. We'll do that because I know he probably won't listen to this. We'll do that on the next Quiddcast that he's on. We'll just keep calling him.
Just
see
make
if
his
it
name
clicks.
that,
or pisses him off. See if we can push his buttons a little bit.
In 6 years' time, I've only got like one fight with JR. It was crazy. It was only one. I was mad at him about something. I don't even remember what it was. It was totally. I think it was related to something he wanted, and I gave it only because he was trying to rank, and I wanted to give him some Buffy Pops. I think it was rank, and I was like, but I wanted to rank, and
he traded him.
Convinced me that he was good. Well, I gave him the lows because he wanted to rank, and I was like, well, I'm giving these to you so you could rank. Do not get rid of them. Do not go trade them off. If you do, I'm gonna be mad. And he literally did. He ended up mad at him. I was like, you should have given him back. Why did you do that? That's just wrong. And I yelled at him, and he was just super apologetic. And then I felt bad that I yelled at him, and then we were fine. is not really one that usually gets angry. He's put up with me yelling and throwing fits in the past, and he would just totally on and never really even ruffled his feathers. That's why when I see him angry, it's surprising. Because I don't ever expect him to really be angry.
You don't expect JRG to ever be angry. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. He was never angry.
We're talking about the same person, right?
More so. Yeah. The weirdness of him on Discord totally new to me because he was not usually. I mean, he would kind of rant. I'm not going to get like mouthy. He always got mouthy. That was totally unrelated to. That's just JR. I just expect that from him. But the anger from him really got mad, like angry. At least in my experience with him. Been friends with him since 2017, or whenever he started, and we used to talk. And I'm serious, he never got mad. He would put up with crap for me all the time, and maybe it's just because we're friends. I don't know.
I think
like the kid.
Sam is right that
I'm not.
that you are a little bit delirious,
tired, but I'm not delirious. No, I've known JR a long time. I've known him a long time. I used to talk to him all the time.
That's what
we would talk nonstop. Maybe he's gotten more angry as he's grown up. I don't know. He didn't used to be angry though. He was never angry with me. People were bullying him. People were always attacking JR back then. Attacked for everything. It didn't matter what he did. He got attacked for something. He had a whole group of people around and bullied him. It was nonstop. I mean, I would yell at him and get mad at him. He would never get mad. Maybe it's just because we were friends, but he never ever got like angry with me. Oh, maybe it's just different.
He's easy to bully, though. Let's be honest. I mean, he's a pretty easy guy to bully around.
But that's because he doesn't really get mad quickly. I mean, he's off because he doesn't really take it super serious. I mean, I don't know. That's just how I remember.
There's only been a couple times he's taken it super serious that I can recall. During
maybe
the
that's
mod
more
time,
what
there's
I
a couple
mean.
times they took it super serious because he's after it. So
yeah, he got voice in there. I remember he'd get really mad, but for the most part, he doesn't take everything. I mean, he doesn't get mad. And I mean, he might rant. You know what I mean? He rant. I don't know. He doesn't really get mad though. He knows how to just blow off jokes at them all the time, and he's not going to get mad at us. But that's what I mean. He's just kind of like that.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're from us 2 hours. Do you realize that?
Yeah, we're at 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Little longer than
I don't want to keep you. I know. I was like, this is typically an hour. That's what I told Spyder before. I was like, yeah, it's about an hour, and here we are. I was like, I knew this would happen. Because this is what typically happens anytime Spyder and I get together in any kind of situation where we're talking. This happens anytime we get together for meetings and we're talking Quidd stuff. We'll literally just kind of go off. We had a whole plan of stuff we were going to kind of talk about, but I think this kind of has
and we talked about none of it, not even one thing. Basically, we get on meetings.
I did.
That we never. You didn't.
I covered Satoshieverse. I talked about that.
Yeah, I mean
that was my one thing. Like, we talked about that. Oh no, we never accomplished anything.
We never talk. Yeah, no, we don't. We just start rambling and go off on tangents. But Satoshieverse, LA Comic-Con drop is coming. I think it's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
That's actually tomorrow.
Yes, Comic-Con drops tomorrow, and then the last part of call them Hello Kitty, and it's Bye Kitty, and it took me until I kept Kitty. Yeah, until I realized that was the whole point of kind of the joke. It was really slow on that. It took me a week. But Goodbye Kitty, the next drop, the last chapter is tomorrow, and so is LA Comic-Con drop is tomorrow too.
Yeah, LA Comic-Con. If you rank, I mean, you can get a free ticket for being number 1.
Yep.
And you're the Comic-Con
number 1
guy.
overall ranker. Yeah. He gets
I expect the best from you.
Do your better.
Wait, did I say? Hold on. Am I reading that? A signed poster? It says signed. So I'm reading the collection. Signed? Signed by who?
I don't actually. This medium is new. I did not see this 15 in each set. Is it set or is it the top 15 overall?
Each set.
Of each set. Oh my god. They just are killing me with the physical stuff. So the top 15 in each set get a poster, and each set is different. So I don't even know if they published in the app yet, but I think each set's different. So it must be the artist. Published. Well, then each set must have a different poster and a different artist. Yeah, the Rolex is
hoping I don't
crazy looking.
Here's what they look like. I wonder if you get to pick one. I want the one that's like the comic cover. That one's pretty cool.
Medium wrong? Is that Winston just came in and said the medium was completely wrong?
Anime.
I don't know.
Isn't this right?
Yeah, I go. Can I leave the screen? Yeah. Okay.
Tomorrow.
Go look. LA Comic Con. Let's see. The first set is anime and up on the 10th.
So you can do anything.
5 p.m. ED. Yes, the anime set.
It says
at 5 p.m. tomorrow, and on Friday, it looks like there's another set at 7, and then on the 14th is the last set at 3 p.m. And yeah, you can sign up for early access. There's a link somewhere. I think it's on Twitter. It'll be in Discord as well.
It's on the Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is the end that's dropping tomorrow. I like these.
Now for Kitty, for you saying the wrong stuff for Kitty is on Medium. Goodbye, Kitty.
Again, I thought it was fixed. Oh yeah, that's never mind. I think I know what he's talking about.
Well, it says Wednesday the 9th at 2 p.m. today, and then I thought they updated that. Hold on, I thought it was updated. Yeah, it's been updated, and they did it wrong. Okay, so that's why. Yeah, I see what you're saying, because they moved the orbs and make those more clear down at the bottom, because it missed whether it was awards for each set. So they changed it and put them at the bottom so you could tell that they were. But when they did, apparently they messed up the Thursday and Friday drop. It looks like instead of having today for a drop and then Thursday for a drop, Thursday and Friday, instead of Wednesday and Thursday. So yeah, that needs to be fixed. I'll message them. Fix it. I don't think anyone's getting free packs as far as I know right now. All shorts.
And I like that they're these are higher card count too. It looks like the lowest is 1,000 card count for the top card, and then you're down.
On which one?
I wish they hyped this up
Comic-Con
a little bit
Hello
more.
Kitty? Which one?
The Comic-Con. Sorry, I'm looking at Comic-Con. You said Hello Kitty again. Goodbye Kitty.
Yes, I'm telling you, I cannot keep Goodbye Kitty in my brain. I don't know what the deal is with that. Yeah, they are a little higher count. No, it's okay.
I think they have different set names there too. I think like what Winston was saying, it's different. Like this is chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and I think the medium has like actual names for the sets.
Oh yeah, let me go look again. Go back and forth. I can't even remember.
Yeah, the set items. It says so many items, and there's more.
Oh,
tomorrow's set though.
Yeah, it says classic comics around the world in chapter 1. Yeah, it should have been Goodbye Kitty chapter 1, Goodbye Kitty chapter 3. So apparently those last two set names are wrong. I don't have them there, but we can get that fixed. I think what happened, it looks like to me, is that the LA Comic Con sets, those other two that are wrong. So they must have just confused them, and Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds like a thing.
So instead of the chapter
that's
2 and 3, they put, it does. It does. I will write something somewhere because that's what I do. I write things places and ask them. But I think those Goodbye Kitty cards should all be t-shirts. Honestly, they're great. There's 2 sticker awards.
It's a show. Did you know that?
Real life posters. It made me think of that that one game, the Dumb Ways to Die. That's what this made me think of. That game.
Oh man, yes.
I love that, and I'm not going to sing it, but I want to sing it because that's in my brain right now. But I have one of those little plaque things that sits there, and you press the button, and it sings the Dumb Ways to Die song. I love that song. It was great. My kids loved it. But that's what I thought of when I saw these cards. It was just like to Dumb Ways to Die. And I think this will. I don't know. We have to take a couple.
I hope we get more. I mean,
wrong.
I like these. These Goodbye Kitty. The price is great. The price they have was at $5 for that they've had. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same tomorrow. The price is great. Like the content's good. They're funny, cute. I guess for those who want cute things. I want this one because it's funny. The Goodbye Kitty versus Pooh. That's funny to me. The blue one reminds me of do you remember back in the day, like the Flash animation and stuff from like Newgrounds and stuff, where they had the frog and you could sit there and blend the frog? That's what that reminds me of. I'm like, man, I wish I could find that. You could sit there and turn it up and he'd yell at you. But yeah, this is a good set. I mean, with it being a show, I'd be really curious because I want to see gifts from the actual show. That would be cool.
I know, they're really cool. I like them a lot. I didn't know there was a show, which is ridiculous. I should have known that. So now I'm going to have to find it. I bet my kids would love it. Just because we probably love it. And I think it'll be LA-Con. We'll have a booth. I won't be there. I'm not going to be there, but some Quidd employees will be there at the Comic-Con in LA for sure. Maybe next year if we do it again, I'll go next year. I can plan it out a little ahead of time. Maybe we should go next year, or we can just have somewhere else randomly for fun. Goodbye Kitty versus Missing. I like that. But I really do actually have to go before my children leave, so I promised them I wouldn't be on long, and I was 2 hours, so I clearly never keep my word. I'm talking, and then I just forget everything.
You just like Michael.
Else.
It's a Quidd thing. Michael's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess. I know. I mean, kind of the same way if I get on a call with Michael. I mean, the two of us talk. If there's stuff to talk about, we'll be on there for a while. I mean, when you're on the call with Mike, just be on the call for a while because he's a talker. But it's usually insane, so you kind of want to stay and listen, And I took today off.
Agreed.
And I told him, we'll go do these things early. So I was like, oh gosh, forgot. Oops. I have to be on this podcast. Sorry, guys. So that's on me out. But now for a week, and I mean, if I'll try to be here. I mean, I did to the podcast every week, so I'll plan for it now.
Yeah, I think pretty soon we're gonna have Darkseid on here. We're gonna talk about his Comic-Con ventures, the joys of being a vendor at various Comic-Cons, and he has some good stories I think he could tell. Yeah. This might be this way to kind of learn about other people in the community too. I know Laptop Pound's done that as well, where he's interviewed people. But I like the open conversation like this. But I talked to him. I was like, we need you on the Quiddcast to talk. It might be a 2-part episode.
We should invite all the users randomly throughout, especially people that collect certain channels.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I know Elon's been busy with stuff, but that's one of the things that I think would be good is, we get a couple Trek collectors kind of reminisce about stuff. We get Firefly. We can get Travis. We get Travis for X Files. You can talk X Files stuff. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. I mean, Darkseid could tell about his adventure of being the first and only person to have Rick and Morty completed. There's a lot of different people within the community I think we could bring on here to talk to. We could bring up to, I think I can bring up to like 5 people in, and we'd probably be all good, because then people can fill the voids where I'm lagging. So that helps me out.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard sometimes.
But awesome.
Tonight, apparently, I get things to talk about, so I probably talked a little bit more than you, and I feel like I've been rambling. So, but then I get accused of being delirious, that people are like, "What? You must be tired and delirious," which I probably am all the time. So,
and horrors.
To be fair, I'm always delirious.
And
horrors.
Yes, Darkseid is the only person
channels
on the app who has horrors 100%. He's the only person that can, because there's a 101. So no more ones in channels.
Really cool. Yeah. See, what I argued against for a long time is doing these one-of-ones, because it's a complete channels, and if you make these awards so low that only one word hit, I mean, what's really like the impetus to channel or to try to get all the sets rather, because you can't complete the channel? I mean, that's discouraging. They did it
right for Trexels, though. The way they handled the Trexels 101, a giant set that nobody complete, that was perfect. That's pretty much what any collector wants, is like, just make a set nobody can complete, so then it doesn't hit my score.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that if we could set aside some of these lore awards into other channels, let them move the award to their own channel so that it didn't affect the overall completion of the channel itself, I think that would help a lot too.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you much longer, and I think we're pretty close to the 2-hour mark, and we appreciate all you guys hanging around.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
I
don't know if anybody's going to want to stream this for 2 hours, but...
Well, no, but at least if they watch it after, they can fast forward and like, I don't want to hear all this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
do you have a cool little catchphrase?
These are crazy.
Catchphrase. You need a catchphrase now, though, that you can sign off with. Why not? That's your homework.
Wubba Lubba Dub Dub? Is that my catchphrase? Yeah, I'll just do Rick and Morty catchphrases.
You could be like, I don't know, keep Quidd.
That's corny.
I know. I like corny. But you gotta just,
See you, Quidlets. I like Quidiots. Quidiots is funny to me. It's like, see you, stupid Quidiots. Like, it's funny to be mean, but not mean because it's funny.
I have called myself a Quidiot for a very long time, and I don't really see it more as like a very devoted, because we're kind of idiots, because we're so devoted that we go.
So what we need is special edition shirts that you could win. Quidiot Club, of course, club with a Q, and then we're cool, right?
Right. There's a special club, a very small club on it. It was like the Salty Whale Club, but that club is still around except for me and Tiny. Now that she's back.
The Salty Whale Club? Well, yeah, because it sounds like you guys are all salty and you spend money.
That's why we called ourselves the Salty Whales.
That makes sense.
Widows. I like
these guys, especially, yeah.
Quidlets makes me think of like a piglet for something. When I don't know why. It's just my brain is not right, and I think piglet, but don't ask. I don't know. I make connection, but that's what I think of. I like Quiddies.
Quid makes me think of like kids. Like those are all the kids that came
kiddos.
Out. Hey, Quiddos.
Hey, you little Quiddos. You're such cute little fellas.
See, now we're Quidsters. Quidsters isn't
like
bad. I still like Quidiots, just because, I mean...
I think it sounds like mobsters. Quid or something. I don't know. I like Quidiots. I'm going
Quid cadets. Quiddcast cadets.
We are space cadets. That
now I need to.
Yeah.
You said that, and now I feel like I'm on the spot. That now I have to come up with some catchphrase or something that's funny or not funny. See?
Why don't you just try it every week and see what sticks?
So it works. Later, Quidiots.
To the moon, Quiddcast cadets. That's kind of a thing, like a mouth, like what's the word? Like I don't know. I can't think of any. Apparently, I'm losing my mind. But like trying to say Quiddcast is kind of like a tongue twister. In a way, it's like a mouthful. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, I don't know. To the moon. Isn't that?
I know I'm not funny. I know that.
I think it's funny.
Who says?
Michael, when he says he was always saying to the moon, he'd like put the little rocket, like for Quidd, space, or I don't know.
To the moon.
Maybe.
But see, anytime somebody says to the moon, I'm just like honeymooners. That is honeymooners. When anybody says
right. One of these lists. Right. Yeah, totally. I see that too. Pow. Or wait, is it the pow to the moon? Yeah. I quite a few times, but I just think of it with he always puts a little rocket and on like Twitter used to be. I don't know. I'm delirious.
Yeah, that's that's a crypto NFT thing. That's essentially what that is. It's appealing to essentially like is things to moon because there's in value.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, bang zoom. Well, let's zoom to the moon.
Let's go with Quiddiots. Because I like it. Well, I mean, I'll use it. Don't pick a new one. Yeah, use whatever you like. The catchphrase of the day you like.
Catchphrase of the day is Quidiots. So until next week, later, Quidiots.
Works for me.
That was right.
Yeah, I think so. I like it. I'm okay with it. I give it a thumbs up.
Okay. All right, I got a thumbs up.
All right, next time.
So that will be the catchphrase. Bye.
Right.
Later, guys.